One up.
Oh, wait, forgot about that. Those reds. Wrong button. Whoop! Wrong button. Okay. R2 is the lightning beam. Didn't want that. That also works. That works. So this is Super Turrican on the PlayStation 4, being played as part of the Turrican Flashback collection. A disc that I obtained as a Christmas present several years ago. And I'm finally getting around to playing Super Turrican again, because I did play some of the other Turrican games in this collection, particularly Turrican 1 and 2, which are... they're better than the average Amiga game, I've been told. But here in the year of our Lord 2024, there's not a whole lot of reason to play Turrican 1 and 2 if you can literally just play any other game. Including Super Turrican, which was, apparently, this game was the first Turrican port for a console that didn't suck, is what I've been told. It's a game that I played on launch because it was like, people were raving about it when it came out. It was basically, it was Factor 5 getting its hands on the ability to to bring back Turrican for 16-bit consoles at a time when most people had only played really bad Turrican ports on the NES, the Game Boy. I want to say maybe even the Master System got one, but who played a Master System in this country? I'm playing in the United States, so obviously no one cares. But when I was a kid, these the original Turrican ports came out on the Game Boy and the Super NES, and they were, the Game Boy and the NES, and they were considered terrible. Like there was no invincibility knockback in those games. Like if you took a hit, you kept taking damage until you left the enemy sprite. Like it's like touching an enemy was like getting shocked by lightning. There was no invincibility after you took damage in that game, which is something that this game immediately fixed. I guess Nintendo gave them notes and said, "Hey guys, it's 1991," or I think they said it was like 1993. You know, add invincibility to your game. Don't be an idiot. Let's see. The rewind is L1. The line, that's the bomb. Yeah, that's the screen clearing bomb is L2. The ice beam is R2, and the wheel, which I never used, is 1. But it makes all the, actually I could probably set the wheel to triangle. Because I never use it. Whoops. So jump should be on X. L1, yeah, that makes sense. That actually makes sense. The line... Well, the line can be L2, but I'm never going to use it. You could not remap these buttons on the Super Nintendo, as I recall. I believe L1 was for the ice beam, and I think L was for the ice beam on the Super Nintendo version, and R was for the line. I forget. Again, I used to own this. I rented this game when it came out, and it was the first time I heard Chris Hulsbeck's music, so I was a big fan of that. It had surround sound, which I didn't have at the time. I still don't have a surround sound setup here. I have a special, like a $30 receiver that can like isolate surround sound audio, so I'll hook that up later. It might be something I do over the Thanksgiving holiday. But I remember, you see, that's a great effect right here. This game actually, this is in the upper tier, the upper half of Super Nintendo games, I would argue. In terms of presentation, it's probably a top 30, top 40 Super Nintendo game. Like in terms of visuals, yeah, it's in the high B tier, the low A minus tier, sure. It's one of the better looking games on the console still. And that's good to know that it looks as good as it does, and it holds up as well as you'd want it to. Because remember, the Amiga games looked okay, but they weren't exactly barn burners in the early 90s. So when this game finally came out on the Super Nintendo, it was apparently the first console game that didn't suck. So we had this game that kind of really worked. It had pretty good pixel art, pretty good use of graphic effects, They're using Mode 7 here for the spaceship. I'm like, whatever. The Chris Hulsbeck soundtrack's pretty good. The surround sound is very good. I think it's good. The audio engineering for the stereo sound is actually not bad. You know, tight controls. Again, this isn't a game where you play with a joystick and you have to press up to jump. Like, you have all 6 buttons on the Super Nintendo. No, you have 8 buttons because you can pause. So there is that. And it was, well, I didn't get to I think I got to the final stage of this game, but I never actually beat it. And I want to say it was on the normal difficulty level too. Rapid fire is on, of course. Okay, so I want to say, yeah. So the options, yeah, you can reset these buttons, obviously. But the way it's set up here is I manually set these buttons in the options menu here. And I want to say if it's in stereo, then it's automatically in surround sound. Couldn't tell you what the surround sound does. When I hook it up, I'll let you know. Because what I'll do is I'll test the rear audio channels to make sure I can test how the game works with the surround sound. There were at least, I think, about 6 Super Nintendo games that had surround sound in them. This game, its sequel, King Arthur's World, I think a couple of other games had it. Officially. I want to say there were a few games like Equinox on the Super Nintendo, which I used to own, that had a Tim Fallon soundtrack. Didn't technically have surround sound in it, but I want to say it might have unofficially included a surround sound package as part of the audio engineering. I used to listen to the game with my boombox back in the day. Really sick bass. Really sick. They had a really good. They had a lot of great reverb in there. It made the audio more atmospheric. I'm curious how that would sound nowadays, but I don't have the game anymore. But on a Super Nintendo, if you plug it into a boombox or something with a line output, or play with some headphones, it's a good experience. Let's actually play the game now. Sorry. You know how people hate it when I start setting the table by isolating these games by placing them in context. So I'll do that as I go, I suppose. 1 up. R1? No, wrong button. Okay, I should probably mention this. There is a wheel button, which makes me invincible. There's a meter at the top right-hand corner of the screen where it says energy. Below that is my health bar. The colored bar is my health bar. The bar below that is my wheel time. If I use this, it depletes the wheel bar. I can jump out of the ball. I bounce off of enemies here, but they can't hurt me. Never really saw the point of this, honestly. Let me just see if I can do something else here. And if you're in the air, you'll drop missiles, which is cute, but it doesn't seem to do it. Again, that's not a very useful ability, I don't think. Let's see, I have R2 is for this ice beam, which freezes enemies and shows invisible platforms, like the ones I showed you earlier in the video. These. The red balls are for the spread gun. This is my yellow ball. This is for a bounce gun. So it bounces off of walls. I'll show you that later. There we go. That's my spread gun. I don't know what these blue things are for. I keep forgetting. I think that, yeah, I forget what those blue things are for. That's my line. Are there any blue balls here? I guess it's for a forward beam. So I'll show you that a bit later, too. That yellow pickup I just made, it gives me an invincibility shield. So I had a yellow bounce beam, and now it's gone. Okay, so I showed you that's my line. That's the screen-clearing bomb. And you can jump on enemies' heads. So those are the basics. Let's play the game for realsies. I just use the spread gun because none of the other guns seem all that useful except in very specific situations. Like I said, you jump on enemies' heads. See? Like Mario Brothers. Good. We're gonna go over here and get this. Well, that's a heart pickup. I didn't want that gun. Whatever I just got, I didn't want. Okay, we'll just do this and shoot them out of the air. It's kind of cumbersome, but it does the job. The ice beam is useful in very specific situations. Like that. That's the one-up. I don't know why the... I honestly don't know why the pickups float into the air. It's kind of weird. You suck. Okay, this sucks. Yeah, I'm gonna die. I don't have enough. Go away. Yeah, I needed that. Give me that. There we go. That blue beam isn't that useful until it's powered up. Ow. The wind will blow you backward after the lightning. Ow. There are very large levels here that you can explore, but you have to kind of make a note of them. That! I think the lightning got me. Good checkpoint here, by the way. I feel like I need to restart this level. I took a bunch of done hits. Can I climb this? Not the way I want. I don't want the blue. I got a bounce beam over here. There's your bounce beam. Again, seems highly specialized in terms of its usefulness. I'm not really a fan. That also works. I think there are also hidden areas around here. Ow. I like how you can freeze the beehive. That's a nice touch. Very generous waypoint. In the original Turrican, as I recall, when you died, you were basically, you respawned right where you died. So if you jumped into a pit of spikes, you would respawn on the pit. Like, that's... I'm glad. I don't know what notes Nintendo gave them, but I'm glad they added stuff like that. I'm like, guys, stop. They just freaking stop. So we'll start from the beginning. Try it again. One up. There we go. Got that. And that. And that. That's a fully powered beam, I think. Oh, wait, I need one more. There we go. That's fully powered up. We'll power up the blue beam later. For now, we want the reds. Gotta have a good spread gun. Good. Good. Jeez. Really bullet spongy. Red is good. Go away. Ow. Okay, whatever. Ow. Stupid. The wind doesn't blow for very long. Whoop. Yeah, it doesn't blow for very long. Careful. Yeah, but it will knock you off a ledge in the middle of a jump. That's not cool. Okay. Kind of tricky, but it's somewhat works. So I wasn't able to get up there. I was supposed to forget about it. Don't want the blue. Good voice samples. Again, it's like the developers knew how much power the Super NES had. They knew how to leverage it. So that's good. This is a German company, right? I can't remember. If there was, I mean, Chris is German. I want to say. But I want to say Factor 5 was a German joint. Then again, I guess Manfred was a German engineer, wasn't he? Manfred Trez, the guy who did most of the dev. Manfred apparently was a guy who worked on the original Turrican, and when he was working on this game with Factor 5, I think eventually he wound up working on that infamous what's that game? Rendering Ranger, that Super Nintendo game that never really got released, but was like a demo basically. It was like a really crappy Turrican clone, but it had phenomenal graphics. And what was it like? What else did it have? Like, what had like, you know, ridiculous, like all kinds of action with like no slowdown whatsoever. It's a terrible game. I saw footage of it. It's a really terrible game, like very terrible level design where it's like, it looks like a demo. It looks like a game where an engineer said, okay, this is what we can do if we wanted to actually build a game around this technical aplomb. Because yeah, the guy basically like completely like decimated that Super Nintendo. Like he knew exactly what he was doing. But as a game, it's terrible. Like most of the levels are about just walking from left to right, carrying your Turrican style weapon. Enemies just kind of swarm you with numbers. Enemies just kind of swarm you with numbers. I think they want me to pick that up, but I don't have enough. Yeah, I don't have enough juice. Use my line. So dodge that fist. Yeah. Some stupid mode 7 hand. Got him. So 3 lines and a bunch of red bullets. That's fine. And I prefer this because I can catch him. I can get him while he's on the ground. Okay, that respawn. That's cute. By the way, look at this. What do you call this? This is like, these are gradients, right? Like, great. Look at the color palette of that sky. What a great looking sky. They probably use color math too. That's probably one of the bluest skies I've ever seen in a video game. Like real Sega Genesis energy there. And yeah, now they added the background. You can see the weird like psychedelic clouds they draw in the background. It's wacky. I dig it. So yeah, really good pixel art in this thing. Let's just jump on top. You could try to go for the blue, but I don't think it's worth it at this point. Ah, that was dumb. Yeah, the sound effects on these bubbles are really nice. Like all the fish sound effects, really strong. So again, a really good audio package all around for this thing. Like this game and Star Fox and Contra 3, they're a great like exercise in terms of like how to like really abuse the Super NES sound chip. Really good stuff. So again, once I get my surround sound setup working, I'll be able to test that out to see how it sounds with surround sound energy. There is a yellow beam I could have picked up. I didn't pick it up. The yellow beam helps me out with the bounce ability, because the bouncy bullets do help. Yeah, see, I picked it up another badge. But they're only really useful for this small part, unfortunately, because it's not very strong. So I would argue that the red beams are stronger. Okay, I can't grab that. I'm not dead. Careful. Yeah, really good sound samples here. Like, again, really strong samples. Really, again, I'm going to keep talking about the audio package. It's very, very good in this game. Okay, so I guess I got a couple of blues and I picked up another red, which I didn't even need. Yeah, how do I get that? I think it floated too high, so I can't get to it. Again, I don't know why items float to the air like that. It's weird. You'll bop your head on the ceiling. Anything up there I can grab? No. So never mind. So where to now? Oh, wait. Out the way. So I guess 5 or 6 bullets, 5 or 6 spread bullets brings down that giant plant. Maybe 7. Like I said, this spread gun is kind of OP in this game. As opposed to the sequel where the blue gun was all you needed. Because it was just one big, you know, it was just one big forward-firing weapon. Yeah, I don't want to go that way. I think that builds up my blue. I think that builds up my wheel meter. I'm not sure. And I guess speedrunners can abuse the wheel ability, but it's not as useful as it is in a game like Metroid, where you can, like, you know, avoid enemies and actually explore with it. Here it just feels like a speedrunning trick. Can't go up there, can I? I have to go around. I'm gonna run out of time. Oh well. Yeah, unlike the sequel is a lot more straightforward, but it's also a lot dumber in terms of level design. Like, level design in Super Turrican 2 is basically run to the right, use your grappling hook to climb some wall, then run to the left. It's basically all you do. And you hold down the fire button, and enemies, like, you know, eat a lot of damage. They expect you to have that big blue forward firing beam. Super Turrican 2 is very expensive. I bought that game on clearance from a video store for like 20 bucks. That game is probably worth like $400 now. It's a terrible game. I think I captured some footage without commentary before I sold it, but it is a very bad game. I am shocked at how bad that game is once I finished playing it. Again, great tech demo for, you know, Factor 5 and Manfred knows, those folks. A very good soundtrack. Again, a very good demo. There we go. Had to use the R1 to get that. And if you shoot the walls, you might be able to reveal some hidden areas because, you know, see the bullet spray here? When the bullet hits the wall, it creates there's a little explosion. But if there's no explosion on the wall, it means it's hiding something behind it. So that's another way to find secret areas in this game. Again, this isn't a source action game, but the levels are very large and European. Which makes sense. It's a European company. I want to say the other Turrican games are like that too, but of course, like I said, there are a couple of stages here that are very straightforward. Like, they actually have to tell you where the exit is, because you can't really get lost, because as long as you go to the right, you'll eventually find what you're looking for. So just think of it that way. Whoa, what? Forgot about that bomber. Here's the good music. Let me crank this up. I don't want this. Yeah, I don't want that. Nope. Go around this way. That works. Good enough. Nope. Got him. Crap. Ah! Stupid. I didn't even need to go up there either. Complete waste of time. No hidden areas? Whoops. That was bad. Probably blue. No, doesn't matter. Maybe I powered up the blue, but it doesn't... I mean, I guess it'll... If I switch, the blue will be slightly powered up than it was before, I guess. I forget the rules. This game didn't come with a manual or anything. First of all, Audie, why didn't you add a manual to this game? Audie Surly. I think it was a producer on this game. Yeah, there you go. I mean, I do like how the game gives you so many options for, you know, traversal and shooting. Like, I like how the game gives you a nice little armory here to play with, but again, most of the stuff you don't even use. It's like they didn't design the game around using all the tools. Like the wheel just feels like I said, the wheel just feels like a speedrunner strat. And the line you use for bosses, I guess. You gotta have a screen clearing bomb in a game like this. You have 3 weapons and only 2 of them are arguably useful. Like this is the only weapon you need. The other weapons don't seem that useful at all. I don't even want the blue here. See, I don't want that. See, I don't want the yellow bounce beam to waste. I'd rather just keep this. So again, it's weird that so there's some antiquated ideas here where it's like, yeah, you have to avoid certain power-ups. They're actually less useful. You can't switch weapons. Like, why can't you switch weapons? Like, why can't you just like press a button to like switch weapons like an Axelay or something? Like, again, like this is the 90s. Like they were still stuck on some antiquated ideas. I'm like, if I want to switch weapons, why should I have to pick up a different weapon? Like, just show me, like, a bar at the top of the screen that says, like, show me a number that says, like, the blue beam is level 3. Like Darius, right? Well, not Darius, but it's like, let me power up my weapon. Like, first of all, why do you even have to power up your weapons anyway? Like, stuff like that. Like, why can't the weapon just always be level 2 or something? I'm not doing well, am I? Ow. Jeez! Guess I couldn't jump on him. Can't use the line from there. Now we can use the line. Didn't kill him either. Go away. I do like how they drop out of the sky. It's a nice touch. Oh, I didn't want this. Ah, crap. I didn't want this. Okay, never mind. I could just do this. Yeah, just bounce off using your wheel. It's like, just like in Gradius. Good? See, we made it. I'll let your boy. I needed that. Again, love the sunset. Love those psychedelic clouds. Yeah, like this is such a European game. There were a bunch of ocean games like Home Alone and Lester the Unlikely that had that same like background. Like they knew exactly how to like mix the colors on the Super Nintendo. When you jump, the lava flow stops. That's a nice touch. Yep, you can go in here. Whoa, wait, hold on. There we go. So you can see where the walls are and you can jump up. I don't want that. I'll take that. Got another 1-up. Which I kind of needed, if I'm being honest. It's like, it's stuff like this I kind of like. The little hidden areas. Careful. Didn't see that. Yeah, the rocks look good too. Like, again, good pixel art all around. Very good looking game. I want the blue. Nope, I'll take this. This is good. Careful. Just keep jumping straight up and the rock will stop. And then the stalactite will fall too. I don't know what just happened. Oh, I'm about to run out of time. That's bad. That's bad, bad, bad. That's bad. I'm gonna die. Spent too much time messing around. Now I'm gonna find out. It's an old video game. They have to keep you moving somehow. Good? Good. Love the skulls in the background. Nice touch. I guess we're gonna call them skulls. I'll take the blue. Blues are fine. Don't know what happened there. Yeah, maybe a fly hit me. Ow! Needed that. Well placed. I don't remember this part of the game, actually. So I'm not filling up my wheel meter. I already have full energy, so I don't get anything for grabbing that. I think this is the jumping boss. Yeah, this guy. Careful. I am hitting him, I think. I have to aim high. You have to jump and hit him. If I had a spread gun, that would have been nice. Careful. That also works. Didn't know I could do that. Accidentally found out. Messed around and accidentally found out. Yeah. That was the boss. Didn't mean to do that. Rewind that. Alright, so now we can save that. I missed 9 lives the first time. Yeah, so I only missed 7 this time. So yeah, if you want to come back later and do a completionist run, you can. So we'll be back in a second. We'll do stage 2 later, but I wanted to at least see how this audio sounds on its own. We'll be back. More Super Turrican. By the way, I recorded this with my PlayStation 4 plugged into my J5 Create 4K UHD capture device. You know what? I've been playing with the input latency. I was supposed to turn on my television. I never got around to it. But yeah, but basically I'm able to play this on my J5 Create 4K UHD. There is a lot of input latency on that thing. I have to admit that. But it didn't seem to hurt me. I was able to play the game. The input latency was totally reasonable. But yeah, if I were playing hooked up to the TV like I should have been, I would have been fine. Let's see. The device is plugged in. The headphone jack, the 1.4 millimeter headphone jack, is plugged into the Vivitar audio mixer here. There's a pink microphone input on the left side of the device because I have an audio splitter on my Turtle Beach headset here. The pink microphone input is plugged into the left side of the device. The green headphone jack is plugged into the middle of the device. And the quad-core Celeron 1.1 gigahertz laptop, as I'm recording this footage at 60 frames a second. It's 4 gigs of RAM. Well, the Windows 10 camera app is how I'm recording this. So we'll get the audio checked out later. We'll hear how it sounds. There might be some audio I might have to do some editing on. I'll tell you what. I'll turn the music up, and then I'll turn on the audio. I'll turn down my microphone, then turn up the music to see if I can get rid of that audio, huh? This is Super Turrican Level 1.